drive-by shooting on Christmas Eve left 2 people injured, including the Uber driver. Tonight, that driver is talking with KREM 2.
I did not know I had been shot. I had no sense of it.
Stay vigilant. That is the message from the Spokane County Sheriff's Office as they search for a suspect in the murder of an elderly man in Deer Park. Tonight, we have reaction from neighbors who knew him.
Say goodbye to the 40s. We're talking cooler temps and the return of widespread snow.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News at 6. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. Well, we begin as Spokane police are investigating a Christmas Eve drive-by shooting in Spokane that injured an Uber driver and one of his passengers. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy spoke with that driver who just got out of the hospital and tells us he feels blessed to be alive. Shannon?
I spoke with Dwayne Johnson just hours after he got home from the hospital. He has serious injuries and is still recovering tonight. Johnson was driving 4 Uber passengers when he says a car pulled up next to his and started shooting. He was able to get the car driving for a few more minutes, not realizing one of his tires had been shot out, getting off I-90 to Providence. Johnson knew one of his passengers was hit, but he had no idea he'd also been shot until police checked him out.
It went in and it broke 2 ribs. So I got 2 broken ribs. It went in and must have bounced off one of the ribs. It broke the ribs. It scraped my lung and put a injury on my lung. I had a collapsed lung.
And tonight, that bullet is still in Dwayne's body next to his spine, but doctors told him he'd be fine. He's even been cleared to go back to his full-time job in a couple weeks, but he says he's probably going to give up driving for Uber. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
All right, Shannon, my goodness, thank you very much. And new information tonight after a man was found dead in a home in Deer Park last Monday. KREM 2's Nathan Hyun went to Deer Park and had a chance to talk with one of the victim's neighbors.
We now know that 83-year-old Richard Purdy was found dead in his home on Monday night. And as of today, police tape has been removed from the house and the victim's family has been allowed to go inside. The Spokane County Sheriff's Office is reminding the public to stay vigilant as they have not yet named a suspect or a person of interest. Larry Dexter, Richard Purdy's neighbor, says he saw Purdy the day he died.
I saw him 2 days ago plowing out his driveway, pushing his snow across and plowing out around his mailbox. To think that he's gone now, unbelievable.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office said investigators found Purdy dead in his home Monday night and there were signs of a burglary. The Spokane County Medical Examiner reported that Purdy died from sharp and blunt force injuries. His death is being investigated as a homicide.
He was a nice guy. I mean, he helped me a couple times on a couple different things, projects that I had done. He did go to a local church here.
As for Larry Dexter, he's surprised something like this could happen in his neighborhood.
I had talked to Dick Purdy for 15 years. I've lived here since 2007. He had lived here prior, so he knows all the neighbors and everything about the neighborhood. So I was real surprised that something like this would happen in this neighborhood.
Dexter says that Purdy lived alone in the house. Police say they're searching for a person of interest. A white male approximately 25 years old and 5 foot 10 inches. He may have been driving a dark colored SUV and had a large dog with him. He was also carrying a briefcase and a bag. And they urge anyone with information to call Crime Check. In Deer Park, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.
Well, a man is in the hospital tonight after a shooting at an apartment complex on North Cherry Street in Spokane Valley. Law enforcement says the shooting started as an argument between 2 men. Someone called 911 saying a man had shot someone else inside a car in the complex's parking lot. The person who was shot drove away, according to police, but the shooter, they say, stayed at the complex where police later arrested him. Deputies found the victim in the parking lot at Plants Ferry with a gunshot wound to his upper leg. Paramedics then took him to the hospital for potentially life-threatening injuries. Detectives say there's no threat, though, to the public. And here at KREM 2, we always want to bring you more to every story. Today, we are digging deeper into last Friday's shooting in Medical Lake that left 1 man dead. Thanks to court documents, we now know more about the moments leading up to that shooting. KREM 2's Cody Proctor breaks down everything we know so far.
Spokane County Sheriff deputies responded to reports of a gunshot and screaming at an apartment complex on Washington Street in Medical Lake last Friday at 11 a.m. When they arrived, they found the man in one of the apartments with a gunshot wound. Court documents reveal the victim as Colin Basto. A Spokane County Sheriff's Office says law enforcement tried to stop the bleeding with a tourniquet, but Basto died at the scene. He had gunshot wounds on his left arm and the left side of his torso, according to court documents. Deputies detained 24-year-old Cynthia Metzger and a 16-year-old witness for questioning. Metzger was later arrested. According to court documents, the teenage witness says she saw the victim hit Metzger the day before the shooting. She also allegedly told authorities the shooting followed a rape allegation from Metzger towards the victim. Documents then state the witness saw Metzger grab a gun, and the victim got up and was walking towards the door when he was shot. Court documents also say Metzger claimed she hadn't meant to shoot the victim and was trying to shoot the ceiling instead. Metzger was arrested for second-degree murder and first-degree unlawful possession of a firearm. Her bond is set at $1 million. She made her first court appearance on Tuesday. Her next one is set for January 4th.
All right, switching gears, we want to take a look at the forecast now. Things a lot calmer today than they have been over the last few days. Still a chance of some snow here moving into the area over the next few days. Our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, is keeping track of all of it for us. Hi, Jeremy.
Hey, Wendy, and hello, everybody back at home. It's a pretty nice forecast as we head through the next
We can't hear you, Jeremy.
days. And it is going to stay, well, rather pleasant or mild. We'll call it mild the next couple of days. Temperatures in the mid-30s here in Spokane right now and pretty close to there across much of the inland northwest. Right now, pretty widespread. We're above freezing. Omak, Grand Coulee, you're down below it. Similar story in Moscow and Sandpoint. So yes, temperatures are starting to drop, and overnight it is likely we all fall below freezing for the first time in a couple of days, which means it is going to get slick. Right now, a little bit of snow continues to fall over 4th of July pass. A little bit outside of Sandpoint, but most of that stays up in the mountains. Snow continues to taper off this evening. We'll catch a bit of a break, and then by tomorrow afternoon, we'll see that snow return to the Cascades and the west side. That moves across the state. Do we get any here in Spokane and eastern Washington? It is likely we catch a little round late Thursday, but a bulk of that activity arrives Friday. Rain and snow likely as we start the day. Forecast models keep kind of going back and forth between whether it's rain or snow. I think we wind up picking up some pretty widespread accumulating snow on Friday and then dry out as we head into the last Saturday of the year. But seriously, it's not looking bad. Pretty mild in the days to come in a break from some of this crazy weather.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. And after a massive winter storm left Buffalo, New York with 4 feet of snow, there is a new viral video surfacing showing a Walmart looted. So our Verify team looks into whether it's real. We're back after the break.